Alright guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be adjusting rear brake drums. So what I did here is I got a piece of wood under my jack because I don't want to ruin my driveway, and I jacked it up off the ground by the rear differential. So this way I get both wheels off the ground. Now the only specialty tool you're going to need is called a brake spoon. I'm going to wind up taking the wheels off, but this job you don't have to take the wheels off. But before I get underneath this vehicle, I need to put a jack stand under it. The other thing you have to do, I'm even on a hill, you got to put bricks or some kind of wedges under the front wheels so this thing doesn't roll away. Very, very dangerous. So I got bricks in front of the front wheels. The reason why it's going to roll away is, you see over there's a drive shaft. When you're in park, that's what keeps your car from moving inside the transmission. But since we have the wheels off the ground, there's nothing keeping this car from rolling. So we'll wind up rolling on those steel wheels on the jack. So I got bricks under the front wheels, and I'm gonna get a jack stand. Okay guys, so I got my one tire off, and I just wanted to show you the difference with drum brakes and name some of the parts for you. So let's start with the hydraulic part, which is called a wheel cylinder. Inside here there's two pistons, and when fluid goes in here, it pushes one piston this direction, pushes this piston this direction, which makes this friction material hit the inside of the drum. Now these brakes have been around probably from earliest times of moving carriages and vehicles. These are the original, type of brakes that were on cars from the early 1900s. So we got a wheel cylinder. These are called return springs. So when the pistons push these out, these push these shoes back in. So on disc brakes they're called pads. On drum brakes they're called shoes. We have our adjusting mechanism, which is called a star wheel. And there should be a little opening in the back that I can pull away, that we're going to wind up using our brake spoon. Pulling it out. And we're going to wind up getting a brake spoon in here that will wind up turning this wheel when I have the drum on to adjust it. Now it does have an adjuster on it that when you hit the emergency brake, it's supposed to turn this. A lot of times it doesn't do too good of a job. We have a hold down spring, and we have this bracket, which is once again part of the emergency brake. When we pull on the emergency brake, it pulls this lever, which pulls this bar, which makes the brake shoes expand against the drum. These look like they're in good shape. Usually wheel cylinders, you'll see signs of leaking by the boots, and I replaced these last year, so they're still very good. But we have to do an adjustment on it. Alright, so once again, we have our axle, wheel cylinder, return springs, self-adjusting cable, star wheel, another part of this self-adjuster, hold down springs. If you see any of these springs broken, you can get hardware kits to redo them. I mean, drum brakes still work pretty good, especially on the back of a car. Most of the braking is done on the front of the vehicle, like 80%, 20% is being done on the back. But I feel like they're out of adjustment. I feel like my car could be doing a better job of braking. Alright guys, next video. Alright guys, so I need to take my brake spoon, I put it in this hole, and I'm going to go from up to down. Now this wheel's a little hard to turn because I did something to this vehicle in the differential. I put a posi in it, it's a four-wheel drive truck, and I was constantly getting stuck in the snow, and I'd have one wheel spinning, the other one wouldn't be doing nothing. So when I turn this wheel counterclockwise, you'll see the other wheel wind up turning the same direction. They both turn the same. So I got two drive wheels. Most cars have to put an open diff. Like, you ever see old muscle cars when they do a burnout and they leave two tire tracks? That's what I wound up doing. I wound up taking a rear diff out of a Mustang and put it in my Ranger. So you hear clicking noises. I'm pushing down. So going prying from down to up. I mean from up to down. Then I move my drum around, see if I'm getting any type of shoe touching it yet, which there isn't. These are way out of adjustment. Still not touching. Brake spoon ain't expensive. They're like 10 bucks. Go to your local AutoZone, probably get one there. Doing brakes, you need some specialty tools. Also, if you have an emergency brake on a drum type that ain't working, this will make your emergency brake work better too. Alright, so we're going to adjust these rear brakes. I'm going to take my brake spoon, I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to turn that adjusting wheel from top to bottom stroke. 2, 3. Now it's way out of adjustment. Every once in a while you move your wheel, make sure it's not too tight, that there's not too much drag from the shoes to the drum. And this will make your brakes feel so much better. You don't want to make them too tight that they wind up causing too much drag. But I know mine were way out of adjustment. I just turned my adjusters all the way in. Since I had the drums off, I decided to lube them where the threads go. So I had to turn them all the way in. And this will also make your emergency brake work better. Now they're getting tighter. I'm almost at the adjustment spot. A couple more clicks. So I'm turning a star wheel in there. Like I said, these were way out of adjustment because I turned them all the way in. Now they're getting tight. Yeah, now I got drag. Alright, so that side's adjusted. So most of the time when you do this, you're probably only going to do it, 5 or 6 clicks. Another way you could do it is just go in your car, hold the emergency brake release lever, if everything's working alright in there, and you could just hit that emergency brake like 50 times, and that should self-adjust them on their own. Alright guys. Okay guys, so today I've had to do front brakes on my car and adjusted the rear. So anytime you do brakes on someone's car, you have to test drive it when you're done. You want to take it for a good, 5 miles, hit the brakes, break them in. The pads have to wear a new pattern onto the discs. And we just want to listen for any types of noises or anything like that. So one thing I'm going to check is the emergency brake now. The emergency brake should be a lot tighter. Yeah, I only got like two or 3 clicks on it, so my rear brakes are adjusted nice. I'm try it again. And yeah, it's holding a lot better. It's not going as far to the ground as it used to. So that's one thing you'll notice as soon as you adjust your rear brakes. The other thing you want to do is make sure when you test drive someone's car, you've washed your hands. It's very messy work. When I was a young mechanic, I used to do great brake jobs. But when I take the car for a ride, sometimes I'd get a little dirt on their steering wheel. And I would have customers mad at me. I could do the greatest job in the world, but I make someone's car a little dirty, they're going to be upset with me. Alright, so let's take our car for a little test drive. So I'm going to start it up. Test drive. I'm going to wind up starting it up. Put the car in drive. Going to get a nice little look at my neighborhood. So I start off real easy. I hit my brakes. Wow, it stopped so much better. The car feels so much better even at that low speed. I'm going to be listening for noises, squeaks when I hit the brakes. So I'm going to stop it again. Wow, it's stopping really good. A lot better. I can feel a huge difference in the way the car's stopping. And I think most of that is from the rear brake adjustment. So I'm also going to feel if there's any vibrations, noises. I'm going to go down Navajo over here. Last year there was a big bear that people were talking about that lived down here. Some of these houses are pretty nice. I'm listening for my brakes. This guy's got a nice bear statue. It's a nice hand carving. That probably had to cost him like $300, $400. Alright, wow, she really feels good, but I'm not going to be able to get it to highway speed. But you want to do some slow braking to break them in. You don't want to go right to high speed and get them all heated up. You can actually make the rotors blue if they overheat, and they won't brake as well. But you know, do a lot of slow stops. Nothing crazy. And just go for a good test drive and listen for noises. All right, guys, I'll see you next video.